What's up, you guys? I'm just reading through Matthew chapters 1 and 2 right now. I was doing a little bit of a deeper dive into this yesterday, and the more I read through right now, something's just very apparent to me I want to talk about. I think it's just so awesome how even as a baby, man, Jesus was moving different. He had his presence, aura for real. So chapter 1 is pretty much just a genealogy of Jesus, all his family line and stuff, and then we get into his birth. And then chapter 2 is we get the wise men, King Herod, Joseph moving his family, all the warning from the angels, Herod being scared of the Messiah being born and sending for all the kids to be killed. Now, this is also just a lot of this is confirming Old Testament prophecies about the Messiah, which is Jesus. And let alone that's cool enough that, a little baby being born is confirming old prophecies. The fact that a baby's birth was scaring the king, it says, when Herod heard this, he was deeply disturbed, and all of Jerusalem with him. I think Herod was scared, man. Baby Jesus was going to come snatch his crown. So Herod sends out the wise men, and when they find Jesus, it says, when they saw the star, they were overwhelmed with joy. Entering the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and falling to their knees, they worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Wow, that's awesome. They realized the presence of who they had just come before, and he's a baby. Babies are cute and all, but like worshiping, walking up, you ever just walked up and worshiped a baby and gave him all your most expensive stuff? Probably not, because they're probably going to break it. But Jesus, he's different. Jesus is the best baby ever. Take everything, Jesus, for like. And the Lord, knowing what Herod was going to try to do, warned Joseph, and they moved to Egypt. But that also confirmed prophecy. And then the wise men didn't come back. Now, this is pretty sad, but it also does confirm more prophecies. But Herod was so upset at what the wise men did not coming back to him. It says he gave orders to massacre all the boys in and around Bethlehem who were 2 years old and under, in keeping with the time what he had learned from the wise men. And then that just confirmed a prophecy from Jeremiah. So the fact that Jesus has this king so flustered in order for him to do something like that, he's a baby. I think that's just, his presence is crazy to me. And it's so cool. Not that what Herod did to the babies, but that Jesus just exudes this, like, they knew he was him. So we got Jesus and his family just going all over the place, kind of trying to find a little place to settle down. And where they settle, which I think this is really cool because it just shows very much how humble, like, beginnings Jesus comes from. But it says, then he went and settled in a town called Nazareth to fulfill what was spoken through the prophets, that he would be called a Nazarene. Now, Nazareth was a little rundown town. Like, it wasn't the best of the best. So I think that's just very cool. Also in Jesus's family line, the fact that there were prostitutes and adulterers and just not good people, but God still used that line of people to bring the Messiah upon us. That's crazy. If that doesn't prove that, if you have a broken family line and you think you're hopeless, man, God can work through it. God can work through any of them. God can work through you. You can be the next one that breaks that family line free, man. And that's just so cool to me. But man, Jesus, he's humble. And even as a baby, I think the way he had Herod stressing, the way he had these wise men knowing the presence that they had entered the room when they found baby Jesus, that just stuck out as amazing to me. Kind of a yap sesh just about how cool baby Jesus is. But remember, guys, he loves you very much. And I love you very much. I'll talk to you later.